is, because what we're going to do is, I believe there's already 3 in the afternoon, so we're going to do the navigating difficult conversations and the challenging recruitment systems with the pod that is going to also be with the leading from the middle, that series. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to probably, and I'm kind of looking at all the speakers so they know, because I don't know how else to tell you this. So what we're going to probably do is just split it in half, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure it out. Either we're going to have 5 tables, but I also want to make sure that there's enough discussion going on. So what I'm probably going to do is just split those times in half, and then what I'll probably do is give 20 minutes for the first set of pods, and then with the pods that were missed yesterday, then that'll be the other 20 minutes, right? Just so people know that nothing is going to get off the agenda from yesterday. Okay, so you ready for our next great speaker? Okay, so this speaker I met like 2 weeks ago, and I met her at a networking event. And she brings a perspective around some of those Indigenous critical events that have happened. And I'm really pleased and honored, too, that she just accepted my invitation to come speak right away. And we're going to have an open dialogue about this. So please welcome Stephanie Anaka to the stage.
My heart's on fire.
Awesome, thank you. Do you like that song? Oh, yeah. Hey? Okay, so anti-harassment training does not work. Yeah, that's my destination. All right, so. Who is Stephanie Anaka? Okay, so I am a passionate advocate for mental health awareness. I also run Positive Pathways. Positive Pathways is a counseling firm that gives counseling to 60 Scoop survivors for free. I am pursuing a Bachelor of Arts at UBCO currently right now, along with Indigenous Studies. I was born and raised in Manitoba. Currently live on Black Mountain. My passion for bridging 2 different worlds in regards to 60 Scoop is learning about Indigenous studies and indigeneity and growing up in the Western culture. Some people call this two-eyed seeing. Any of you? It's where you can look at the Western culture that I grew up in and then learn about the Indigenous, which is my birth culture. So at 3.5 months, I was taken from my biological parents, along with my 2 older brothers. So there's 5 of us kids, and we were taken from Grandview, Dauphin area in Manitoba, and we were adopted out to white families. My 2 older brothers, okay, I'm 51. My 2 older brothers just found out last year they had a sister. We're 50. Why are we finding this out now? All 5 of us kids were human trafficked from the Canadian government through the Child and Family Services in the province of Manitoba. This is how us 60 Scoopers talk about this. 2 weeks ago, I went to Winnipeg. We had our first conference for 60 Scoopers and got blanketed, where they put a blanket on you and they say, welcome home. Very accepting. Thank you. Some people have Christmas at home. We all have Christmas at home, right? I've never had a Christmas with my biological parents, and they were married. So the Child and Family Services came into my parents' home. They were drinking, and they decided to take us 3 kids and adopt us out. They take the next 2 kids directly from the hospital because they deemed my mother an alcoholic. Excellent. The residential schools. Okay, so while I've been in university learning about Indigenous studies, I also learned that Indigenous people have gone a long time making relationships with people, like governments, officials. Okay, so there's like, before treaties, there was peace and friendship. Before that, there was something called covenant chain. I mean, we can probably go back and back, okay? So these relationships have always been happening. I wasn't here yesterday because I was in class. Does anyone know stats? Can you take a class for me at university? I hate it. Last week I was in a class. It was a 408 class. It was called HINT. And it was in regards to the healthcare system here in British Columbia from an Indigenous perspective. Why don't Indigenous people go to hospitals? Some people are laughing. Yeah, we know why. Yeah. Because it's traumatic for them. A hospital looks like a residential school. Every classroom, every room, it's difficult. So then they stay on reserves, they pass away. Nobody really knows sometimes. This has happened with the residential schools, and it's not okay. And these conversations need to continue to be talked about. So last year, I got to be a camp leader to about 60 students, Indigenous students, from all over British Columbia and a little bit of Alberta that came to UBCO, and we got to hang out with them for the month of July. And then after that, I went to Mexico, and I said this same story, not exactly the same, but in Mexico. They thanked me after, and they were like, we thought Canada was just all fluffy and everything was good. I said, no, it's not. It's far from good. So after that, after I found out that I was a 60s Scooper, which was only about 4 years ago, I became the Okanagan director of the 60s Scoop Indigenous Society here in British Columbia. Because after finding out I was a 60s Scooper, I cried for 2 days straight, and I'm like, no, I need to stop crying. So we changed it. So it's like, okay, now I help other people. And how I help is started this year, along with the Positive Pathways, this year I hold what's called a Wellness Wednesday. And it's for 60 Scoopers. So they can come across Canada on Zoom, we meet. Because I have the psychology background, I hold a safe space for them to come and talk about their story if they want to, or not. It's their choice. So that's what else I do. So beyond the academia, I also am going back into the financial field. One of the issues that I find people have is with money. Okay, so 60 Scoopers, yeah, everyone got $25,000. Only about 25,000 60 Scoopers got $25,000. The rest of us did not. Don't need it. But when I went to the conference, I found out that there's 125,000 60 Scoopers in the world, or in Canada, sorry. So 125,000 60 Scoopers, 150,000 residential school survivors, that's a lot of kids. And some of us out there say, just get over it. It's in the past. We've heard it. It's hard to just get over it. So learning about finances is just something that, my question is, you handed out this money to these people. Did you ensure that they had financial literacy? No, they didn't. So what do you think these people who are broken, what do you think they did with the money? I mean, let's be honest here. Like, this is something that they probably did. Because they don't have any new tools in their toolbox, you handed them money. What were you hoping was going to happen? They would just die off? These are some hard questions to ask certain people. The question that I ask is, where's our responsibility in this? I live on Black Mountain. It is not an Indigenous mountain. There's not a lot of Indigenous people on my mountain. But I'm going to tell you something. Every time I've gone on the Black Mountain community site and I write something about indigeneity, I have 110% support and no one mad at me. Winning, slowly. So, the other part of my background is I spent 19 years in security. I also went to college for occupational health and safety. And I also did 4 years as a truck driver. People don't like me on the road. I speed all the time. I'm like, I don't care if you're in the fast lane, I'll go around you. I'm good with that. I also have ADHD, if you can't figure out from my many jobs that I have. So when I went to university, I was just like, it was COVID. It was 1:30 in the morning. I was a little bored. Like, let's try this university thing at the age of 48 and think it's a good idea. Okay. I always had this ability where people could talk to me. And I always had this insecurity where I would go into a situation and find out about what actually happened in the situation. And people would literally spill their guts. I don't know why. So I was just like, okay, very good. I continue to check the time because the floor will fall out after 20 minutes. Denise has said. So being a 60s scooper, I believe that there was a gentleman up here yesterday, and he spoke about his 60s scoop experience, which is very difficult to hear. Mine is difficult to say, but I've been able to kind of master it a little bit, and being able to be there for other 60s scooper is extremely important to me. I am part of a team of 4 who cover the entire province of British Columbia. So we have one on the island, we have one in Vancouver, and one in Prince George. We're all directors. We all unanimously together, no one's higher, no one's lower, we collaborate together. The president and I have agreed to move slowly within the Sixties Scoop Society, simply because it cannot come fast. We will make mistakes, we will step on someone's toes, we will look bad, and this is just not something that we're willing to do. So I'm in university, she's in university, we're getting educated because we want to make sure that the 60 scoopers who are here in British Columbia have the best possible future that we can help them with, whatever that looks like. If you happen to come across a 60 scooper in your area, talk to them. Just be an ear. Honestly, it's just one of the best things that you can do. So my diversity in regards to everything of my life skills and where I'm going, offers a lot for Indigenous people. My future plans, I have an 8-year plan. In 2027, I plan on opening my first office. So Positive Pathways will move from my house to an office. From there, 2029 will be offices in Vancouver, Victoria. 2030, Edmonton, Calgary. 2031, you get where I'm going? For Western Canada. So that is the plan, but I give a lot of kudos to the university because they've helped a lot. I was 48 when I went to school. I tell other people, get educated, doesn't matter what age you're at. There's a gentleman in there who's 60. He's just taking courses. I don't know, I really know why he's there, but he's in some of my psychology course. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Oh, you're here again, eh? Well, wow. So yeah, I would just say that, you know what, if there's a 60 scooper around, have a conversation with them. Make them feel like they're part of what you guys were just discussing, you know? So I do want to thank you for listening to me, my story. And if anyone has any questions about this at all, come and see me. 110%. Miigwech.